One thing you can do with DataShop is export a file and then process it in your favorite statistical package, like say R for instance. So here I'm in this geometry area data set. Of course I've logged in already. I'm going to go to the export tab at the end here, and I'm going to export not by transaction, which is the default choice here, but by student step. And this is a roll-up of the more detailed transaction data that is useful, for instance, in doing learning curve analysis. And all I need to do then is click this Export Student Step roll-up button, and processing begins, getting feedback on that. And when it's done, I will have a file that I can access on my desktop. Okay, so I get this DS76. This is dataset 76 that I can save on my desktop. I will save it here in my DataShop datasets folder. Okay, and now I'm going to go to R, which I already had loaded, and there's some nice functions in R, like file choose, which brings up a file dialog, and when I click on that, I can then navigate to where this file is that I just stored in DataShop datasets. Let me sort by date modified. Here it is at the top. Oh darn, it's a zip file. So I have to expand the zip file first. Where is DataShop datasets? Okay, double click on that, and now I have a folder. Now let's go back to R. Here's the folder. Inside that folder are some terms, a README, and this dataset. All file choose does is show me that path name, but I wanted to illustrate that because now I'm going to use a read command in R. I'm going to copy this from an example file, which actually you can find files like this attached to various DataShop datasets. So we're going to assign to a variable df the result of reading this file, which I'm going to get this file instead of naming it by calling this file choose function. There's some important elements of this that will help me read this file, like the delimiter is a comma. But I also here want to make sure that I skip the first line in the file, because it turns out this file, I think at the top, has an extra line. So maybe we should look at the file in something like Excel before we do this, but let's see what happens. Okay, now I get my choose. I click on that file. Okay, seems to have worked. I can now look at the contents of that data set, for instance, by typing the summary command in R. Summary df is going to show me all the variables. Yeah, so I have a row number variable, I have a sample variable, I have an anonymous student ID variable. This student had 231 entries in this data set. There's a problem name. I guess designing the quilt is the problem we have the most data on, so forth. Here's step name. Now it's in here, and I could do various analyses on this data set, like replicating the additive factors model and so forth, which you can see in other videos.